Let's go!
The station that keeps it rocking 24/7.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Grizz Biz, my 2 cents.
Trying to figure out if not, then I wonder why. I be the one that I want you. 5 in the morning, give you kisses and two. Don't mind washing dishes when you're like I do. No. She wanted business, so I bought her some bundles. She belong in the magazine, couple of cut too. Took her to the churches and they call her Rapunzel. Hey, superstar studies, wish y'all had it. Confidence on to make one bar petty. Better watch your baggage. I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping that dick up, dropping that dick up, dropping that dick up, I be dropping that dick up. I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping that dick up, dropping that dick up, dropping that dick up, I be dropping that dick up. She wanna stay classy, but she wanna be physical too. She wanna be nasty, but she wanna be spiritual.
Hey.
Too. Hey, 4 in the morning, I'll be coming back through. 4 in the morning, I'll be coming back through. I know your belly give you some of that. Ooh. I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping that dick up, dropping that dick up, dropping that dick up, I'll be dropping that dick up. I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping the go, I'm dropping that dick up, dropping that dick up, dropping that dick up, I'll be dropping that dick up.
let's go!
The station that keeps it rocking 24/7.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Grizz Biz, my 2 cents.
Yeah. It's Wednesday to Wednesday. We are back at it. Last week we was had filmmaker Lee Zellers on, full in effect. You know what I'm saying? Let's give Lee Zellers a round of applause because that movie, Chasing the Moon, is doing rather well on YouTube, and it got a lot of views on the podcast, the episode. So yes, we're doing our thing, and we're giving our props to those who are doing their thing in the city. You dig what I'm saying? We got Brandon Marie coming up. We got Alonzo coming up. We got so many people coming up, man. It's just been putting it down for our city. But before we go any further and introducing today's guests and what they have contributed to the city, let's run our commercials right quick. Let's get word from our sponsors.
If you're looking for Mylar bags, look no further. We carry small Mylar bags to large Mylar bags. Check us out at bagmanbagman.com or call us at 513-299-7550. And if you're in the Cincinnati area, come down to the storefront at 3020 Colerain Avenue off the Hopple exit. Come get storefront at 3020 Colerain Avenue off the Hopple exit.
Come get some bags. Bagman.
iRepair Plus is the place for all tablet, smartphone, and computer repairs. We specialize in repairing broken screens, charge ports, batteries, cameras, and more. We remove viruses from computers, install new hard drives, and will have your computer running like new in no time. Plus, we activate phone service for Verizon Prepaid, T-Mobile Prepaid, and Ultra Mobile. Once activated, you can visit iRepair Plus to replenish your monthly service payment. Get an iPhone 8 for just $50 or an iPhone 7 for free when you switch to Verizon Prepaid. BYOD, that's bring your own device or purchase an unlocked device from iRepair Plus. We have the latest unlocked smartphones and accessories. We fix it, we finance it, we facilitate it. Call 513-521-0111. That's 513-521-0111. iRepair.
Jarman Home Solutions, LLC. if you have any problems with any electrical things, items that you need done in your house, contact Jarman Home Solutions LLC, certified electricians, rewiring, from the biggest job to the smallest job. The things that's going around right now is everybody's going electric. Everybody's going electric. So if you have an electric car and you need a charger put into your home, Jarman Home Solutions LLC can get the job done. Whether it be Tesla, whatever, they got you. Certified electricians. If you want a quote, just contact Jarman Home Solutions LLC.com and get your free quote and estimate for your issues. Let's give a round of applause for our sponsors today. And we also want to shout out Dank Nation in the building. Now, I ask every Wednesday, I want to give stuff away. I got Dank Nation t-shirts to give away. Get involved with the website. Like I said, we got some big things jumping off here in 2024, 23, 24. As far as you see what Biden is doing, don't you? You see what Biden is trying to make good on his promise about the marijuana. Where the weed at? Where the trees at? Yeah. So I think he might get his approval rating back up if he get the country high. That's what I'm just saying. Let's give a round of applause for him getting the country high. He'll be so high, let's vote for him. And as you can see, the divas are not here as usual. The one diva is still on her sabbatical. She'll pop up on Instagram and do her beehive dance or do whatever. Let's give Ivy a round of applause. Ivy the Aries a round of applause. And then we got Tyann. I'm sure Tyann will pop herself up in here as she always do with them Jackie Kennedy glasses of hers. You know what I'm talking about? She the love doctor. Lord have mercy. But anyway, to keep the tradition going and things popping off like it always does and is around here, today's guest is a guest that's been putting it down for a long time. His lineage, is that the word I say? Is that the right word? Lineage, heritage. He has a real deep background in music. His family is well rooted in music, man. I met this guy, man, and I was amazed. Like, you know what? He is real different, you know. His studio, BTS Studios, him and his man Buck, they've been putting it down and been a part of the hip-hop scene here in Cincinnati for a long time. So without further ado, man, I've been dying to get this guy on here. Let's give Todd Sharfe a loud round of applause, man. Let's give it up to the guy, man. Let's give it up to him. What's up, man? What's up with you, brother?
What's going on, boss? Appreciate you having me up here, man.
Oh, man, I might not be here next month, next year, whatever, and I'm damn sure trying to get everybody that I know that's in touch this city with their talent, with the love, with the respect, and the passion of doing anything, whether it be music, comedy, dancing, whatever it was to bring entertainment to this city. I'm trying to get them on my show. So
that's what's up.
Definitely had to get it.
You've been about it yourself and been around for a long time, man. And that's cool that you want to, give everybody their flowers while they're here, man. That's definitely what's up.
Yeah, man, I got to. I you know what, Todd? I got tired of talking about my accolades, because when you wear already, when you wear so many hats, and you've been down this road with me, so when you wear so many hats, man, it gets to be you're trying to prove everything to everybody and this, that, and the third, and it gets draining, it gets tiring, and then just have to step back and, like, they'll figure it out. If they don't, so what? My kids, my family know, you know what I'm saying? So right. I ain't even tripping, you know what I'm saying? So, but it ain't about me, it's about you, man. You know what I'm saying?
There's something common between us there. I mean, shit, like you said, we've both been in situations trying to wear multiple hats, but You know as well as I do when you got a good team around you and you can focus on what you do good. Let them focus on what they do good. And, you know, great things happen when that comes together. You know what I mean?
Most definitely, most definitely. So let's get straight to it now. We're just gonna talk a little bit about your family history, man. And got to shout out your father, man. Let's give Michael one of the baddest bass players in the city. The Blue Whisper Band, the infamous band. He was the founder of that, wasn't he? One of the founders of
the Blue Wisp Big Band.
Blue Wisp Big Band. You know what I'm saying? So his father's real accoladed in the music game, man, jazz game. So is your mom? Is your dad the only one that does the music?
Well, my mom, I mean, she played some flute in college and high school and whatever, but like her brothers though, my uncles, they play guitar, drums, been in bands. So there's music on both sides of my family and art too.
And art. Yeah, so y'all got a passion for reggae too. Your dad got that same passion?
Well, my dad, he loves all types of music. Obviously, from being a musician, you end up loving a lot of stuff that you didn't think you would because you got to play it to make money. You know what I mean? So he loves Caribbean music, period. He's had a band called Mambo Combo for about 8 to 10 years now, and it's Latin jazz. And they play all over the city. They played on the square, all kind of places. So, but yeah, I mean, I got hip to reggae because my parents went to Jamaica in '88 and they came back with tapes, and I just fell in love.
Oh, dear God. Let's give a round of applause for your family.
I still have a passion for reggae, and I play all the time.
What was you saying?
I said I still got a passion for reggae. I make it all the time, man. Me and Emaq, we trying to put together a catalog of reggae beats for real.
That's what's up. So your first taste of music, what was that? What was your first taste of creating music? You play instruments?
You know, I know enough just to get myself in trouble on the bass and the keys and the drums a little bit, but I'm not a master of any of it. You know, I'm more of a master of my tools more than anything. But, you know, it was one of those things like I played piano when I was young, had piano lessons and stuff. I ended up quitting that to play sports. And there was just something coming up through my teenage years where I really didn't want to mess with it because I knew my dad would be involved in it and I didn't want him to be involved in it. So once I moved out and I was able to have my own space, you know, I ended up getting a beat machine for Christmas and stuff. And, you know, one thing led to another. And then before you know it, I got a studio and I got, you know, artists I work with and I got a catalog of beats and it just.
So what was the beat machine? Going too fast, man.
It was a Roland 303.
A Roland 303, and you self-taught yourself how to use it?
Yeah. I just dove into it and figured it out, man. When you love something, you just figure it out, you know?
Right. So who was your first artist? What was your first beat that you said, hey, man, I could put somebody on this?
It was me, you know, Zebediah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zebediah, Mike Walker from Uncut,
mm-hmm.
and then this kid named Daniel Ritchie. We did a song. We recorded in my parents' basement on Waycross way back in the day. So that was like I might have done 1 or 2 songs before I bounced about the house, but that was the very first song I ever recorded right there.
Right. Do you still have it?
Yes, sure. I do still.
I bet you. I bet you do. I bet you still got that one with rapping and Busta Rhymes, don't you?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. See, we need to bring that back out. We'll get to that. We'll creep walk to that. So you move out.
I definitely got some classics, but there's a whole bunch of music and beats I've lost over the years too that just make me cry if I think about it.
Okay, well, I just found out that you probably know my producers, Andrew Walker, GKFM. He said your boy was his uncle.
Who's that?
Our producers, the guys that I'm sure you heard of GKFM. If you say you that.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I'm about to say I was going to jump through the screen, and because he says that your partner was his uncle. So small world,
okay.
Small world.
Yeah, no doubt. Even smaller city.
Right. So you guys bust out on the scene and do your thing with that. When you get your crib, you build your studio up and so forth. So, who was your first artist when when you moved out, and what was the structure like?
It was me and it was actually a group of me and my homeboy Ted and Mark. Neither one of them do music anymore, but um, yeah, it just started out with them. When I met them, they were a rapping duo, and they really didn't have no beats. I really just wanted to make beats. And I'd have a verse from time to time, but they was recording with Elliott Slaughter, so I
Right.
would go over there and record with them. And one thing led to another. And we was like, yeah, man, you're just gonna be part of the group. I'm like, all right, cool. And then through that connection, that's when I ended up meeting Brandon Lakes or Blaze, and that's when he started coming around. And I recorded his first song when he was like 15.
Wow.
I still too.
Young Suge. You had him young. Cash Money. You had him young. You wasn't out there putting them out on their weed, was you? Talking about get on stage and perform. You better hit this weed. You better hit this ganja. No, I'm just messing with you. Just messing with you. Just messing with you. Let's give Elliott Slaughter a round of applause. Elliott been around for a long time, and I definitely got to get him on this platform too. Yeah, he's one too. I'm glad you mentioned that name because it definitely he got to get up on here. So, y'all started doing your thing and making beats and stuff. Were y'all doing anything with the beats since how you just wanted to make beats? And
well, back then, that was prior to all this social media stuff, so there was still a lot of confusion of what to do, how to do it. We just knew we had a passion for it. You know what I mean?
right.
So, finally when MySpace came along and people could network, and then stuff like the Pass the Mic website came up, and then now you could see all the other artists in the city. Where shout out to Randy Weaver for putting that together. He ended up having a couple shows, and I met a lot of people through them avenues. Sold some beats, did collabs, and that was a beautiful time for real. It's way different than it is now. There was a lot more shows, so
Yeah.
that was like we really felt like we was doing something at that point. Like, oh man, look at all these guys and this whole community, and people dig our stuff. Man, we on the right path. So
Those were
fun,
the
man.
Scandal years. It seemed like when Scandal passed, it slowly went downhill.
That's for sure. That's
Let's give Scandal a round of applause because it changed after Scandal passed away. It just kind of fizzed. It tried to hang on for a minute, but it fizzed. So, y'all doing shows and selling beats and stuff and so forth. And thinking y'all are moving, networking more, I would say, than anything, just getting your feet wet and doing what you have to do to get out there. But when did it become serious? When did you say, what made you say, when did Buck come into the picture? When did you form BTS?
Well, BTS actually. So my brother is the first person that showed me. He's 6 years younger than me. He was the first person to show me how to make beats on a computer with a program called Acid.
Really?
And where my brother is a very eclectic musician. He can play just about any instrument you put in his hand. And although he loves hip hop, that's not what he creates on a regular basis. He has produced a lot of tracks for Juice Lee. I don't know if you should be hip to Juice Lee, MC in the city. So he did a lot of stuff with him. So he wanted to start a label that included his rock stuff he was doing. So his buddy, John Gloves, me and him kind of formed Beneath the Surface. He chose the name. I just rocked with it. I was just ready to do whatever, you know what I mean? So they chose that name, and I've just kept it alive this whole time.
Wow, let's give that a round of applause because I definitely first meeting you, did not know the backstory to this, and thought this was strictly BTS, and for you holding it on for the longest time and doing whatever, yeah, man, I'll give you another round of applause for that because you showed it was your baby. Beneath the Surface. You was talking when you speak of it, it's a passion coming from you.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
shout out to John Gloves. He live out in San Diego and he still drop music.
Oh, that's what's up. So your brother more like handle the rock and roll version of material or other genres.
Like he's made. He's made some real hardcore boom bap beats for us over the years. But yeah, he's played rock, rock bands like Dark Wave. He's also a techno DJ. His wife is a DJ. That's kind of how they met. So my brother's all about the music, all different kinds, all different genres.
Hey man, I bet holidays when y'all house is just off the chain. It should be. I could just visualize. I'm high right now. I could just visualize your father over there doing something, you over there scratching or something, or your brother's over there doing something, his wife, the whole family. Y'all be jingle bell rocking, don't you? Jingle bell, jingle.
My brother, man, when he was 15, he would go in my dad's studio in the basement, and he'd record every instrument on the track and sing vocals. And the next day, he'd have a finished song for us to listen to.
Wow.
When he was, yeah, that still blows my mind. I've never been that good.
Wow. What is he doing now?
His band just kind of fell apart, and he's really doing some DJing gigs online. His band was actually signed to a label in Germany, and they did a lot of numbers in Europe. And they've actually put together a few United States tours that they've done. I think they've done 4 or 5 of them, and they put it together and financed it themselves. And at the end of it, they were in the positive. They didn't break even. They didn't lose money. They made money on merchandise and, ticket sales and stuff. So
that's what's up.
He's done his thing. Yeah,
that's what's up. So y'all didn't form. They didn't form this record label, BTS. And so when did Buck come into the picture? When did Buck come in?
Well, I've been cool with Buck since I was like 15. So me and Buck been cool for a long time. And it just so happened I met Jay Graham when I worked at Jake Sweeney. So me and him got cool. He started coming over, recording this, that, and the other, and then just got to a point where, Buck came through to just holler at me, and we just started playing music. And Buck, he's a very smart businessman. Shout out to my guy, man. I love that dude to death. But he knows when there's an opportunity, and he's smart enough to take advantage of the shit. So, he had an idea, and we all came together. We was with it, and we started moving.
Did he have any music? I'm going to interview him too. Did he have any music background?
He's got a great music ear, but he don't play anything. He don't do nothing vocally or nothing like that. He's just, he's got great taste, and he's a smart businessman.
Right. And we're talking about the big spender, and I don't know if our audience remembers, but if you're listening to this, you remember Jay Graham's and the Big Spender. That was a big album here in the city, a big record. How they say it? A big record in the city record. A big record. I'm doing my red version now. It's a record, man. That was a record. And it could have got bigger, gone bigger, but I remember clearly when I first time hearing it, and man, I was like, God dang, that's heat, boy. That's fire. That is a sure ticket into the industry. Is that what you guys was thinking when you put that?
Jay met me at the house one day after work, man. And said, hey man, he would always bring me stuff to sample. So it was kind of like a game we had. Like, hey man, see what you can do with this. So he brought me that. Man, I whipped that up in like 20 minutes. And I was like, man, it's cool. I like it, but I didn't feel like it was like everybody else thinks it is. But that's just how it goes. Timbaland probably didn't think Cry Me a River was his greatest work. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if the people like it, the people like it.
Right. So what happened? What had happened, man? I want to say that with all the BTS artists, man. Yeah, you said a key word, and I described it on when I made the post about you being on the show today, and that word was eclectic. I don't know. I'm high. Yeah, that word. And y'all had a variety of artists that seemed like they was always right there on the verge. Like you had a stable of I don't want to say misfits, but
I do.
Okay, well, you said
I always considered us that because we never really fell between the lines of, having all trap label or all backpack label or we did a little bit of everything.
Right.
We could do it well too. It wasn't no fake sounding shit. That's what we could do. And, all the different minds we had in there, everybody had their own style, but we all meshed together well. Now the roster changed from time to time. People came, people went. That's just how it goes. But I ain't got no love lost for nobody that came and went. They all part of the story, man. I love them just the same.
Right. I mean, like you guys had some, like, I think, for example, who was the one? Gene Boy. Now,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, to me, and this is my personal stuff, he was okay, but I was thinking y'all was banking on the niche with him with that. I don't know. Did any of the artists lack any passion for doing anything?
No, nobody lacked the passion for creating, but nobody had the passion for the business.
The
If you don't have a
business.
passion for the business, you're probably not going to exceed that. I mean, that's most people's problems. You gotta find a way to love this business because it sucks.
Boy.
You know. So we never had any problem with anybody coming up with creative content. It was just at the end of the day, an artist has to do so much. Who's backing them has to do so much. Somebody has to finance it because there's only so much you can do for free. And that's another thing. The free stuff wasn't even being taken advantage of fully. And it's like,
what you mean?
I can't sit here.
What you mean? Because
you got to want it.
So what type of, if you don't mind, what type of deals? What was y'all giving the artists? Was it a production deal? Did they have to find their own management? Did y'all act as management, promoters, promotions, and everything? Or what was the deals like? Was it a production deal?
Well, I'd have to say that every situation was a little different. You know what I mean? Some people brought different things to the table as an artist. So we just tried to work 50-50 as best as we could to try to make something happen.
Oh, there's the word 50-50.
A big label would give out advances. We didn't have no money like that. We were still doing it for the love. You know what I mean?
Right.
But there's especially even when the studio was at my house in the basement, no artist was paying for beats. No artist was paying for studio time. They weren't paying for mixes. You know what I mean? That's what I was investing.
Yeah, you was investing a lot of time, and that's money, doing everything that you did right there. So y'all wasn't trying to recoup none of that? And was anybody disgruntled? Would anybody think y'all should have been doing more?
I mean, there's always people that misconstrue things or don't understand from the get-go. There might have been a couple situations that I would have liked to have back. Not saying I necessarily did anything wrong. It could have been on either side, but
right.
There's a couple disagreements. But at the same time, there's nobody that won't come dap me up, or I do the same to them if I see them.
Right. Yeah, that was one of the biggest things because as in general, our city, unfortunately, to this day, is still divided with stupidity when it comes to music and so forth, whether it be on the business end or it be on the end of the creative spectrum. You've got the eclectic group, the group of, I want to say, Uptown. It's always different than the norm. And then you go into the city and you got your trappers and your peel poppers and your thugs and this, that, and the third and blah, 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 blah. So there was always some type of division in the city, and on the creative side and on the business side. And to this day, it's still affecting this city. It's like it's stagnant, man. Like you get your wheels spinning for a minute and then it's fast. What'd you say?
There's really no legit industry in the city, and that's the unfortunate part. Nobody's really been co-signed from here or anything like that. So it's going to be hard for there to really be any structure until something like that happens, I think.
Somebody co-signs. And explain co-signing, saying, hey.
Well, somebody that's recognized on a national level needs to point at somebody here and say, he's the next up. You know what I mean? And put that artist on his back to some degree.
Right.
This is because you know how it is. People didn't feel like we was legit until they heard Big Spender on the radio. Then the whole level of respect just changed. The conversations changed, and that's all because they heard it on the radio.
Right, but that's with any artist, though, for real. Same way with any. But was you getting spins outside the city?
No, not like it should. There was a handful here, a handful in Indianapolis, a handful in Louisville, but they never. I don't feel like radio promotions was the money for radio promotions wasn't spent properly by RR Records. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, we had signed to an independent out of Florida, and they took the whole deal over, and they basically had a budget of $250,000, and basically when it was out, it was out. Now the ride was over. You know what I mean? And they spent $50,000 on a video that played late nights on BET before they paid for, radio promotions.
Wow. Wow. How can you have $250,000 and not bubble up at least? Man, you imagine the $250,000 today with the internet and the way it's going down?
Yeah, this was 2004.
Right.
So,
that is crazy.
18 years ago. That song can graduate high school now.
Right. How did they find y'all?
Man, that's a great question.
Y'all,
I don't remember that part.
I don't remember that part. I'm comparing to like Lantana. Lantana signed to a independent record label, and
They had a major backing, though.
Who, Lantana?
Yeah, well, that independent he signed to had a major backing, and what we had was just a free-floating independent.
Well,
the guy who owned the label, he was like the number 3 guy in IBM, just big rich guy.
But here's the thing, though. With the record, with the indie y'all was signed to, and the indie that y'all signed, he was signed to the same, seemed like the same type of movement, same type of, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really didn't matter if he had major backing behind him. I don't know what the ins and outs of his deal was, or this, that, and the third, or how that goes, but it just behooves me to see, like, you two got, you and him, and there was another person that had signed to a major, like you said, a major indie, and I think they lose the ball too. They lose the steam too. I don't know what is it, a curse here, or like you said, people just don't know their business. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't really either. It's a difficult business. It evolves every day, changes every day. I mean, if you want to, you can learn something new every day. That's for sure.
That's for sure. So
it's exhausting.
I know it is. I know it is. I'm many nights over your basement. What was I gonna say? As far as the artist and so forth, who was your favorite to work with?
Man, there's so many of them, man. I can't really. I don't know if I could put a finger on just one, man. I've recorded a lot of artists, man. I've had a good time with all of them.
All right, so what's your favorite song? I know you got a favorite song that you recorded, because you said Big Spender, which everybody thought was hot. You thinking it's mediocre, Mr. Timberland.
Well,
so which one is Hot Box?
Well, it's actually a song that didn't make Jay's album because of the sample, and it's called Don't Hurry, and it's got, actually it's Don't Hurry, and there's another one called King of the Jungle. King of the Jungle, I probably like just a little bit better than Don't Hurry, but Don't Hurry had GTM on it too. There's another one with a GTM feature. Shout out to my Forest Park brothers.
Yes, let's give GTM a round of applause. And Lamont Cheatham's son, who's down in ATL interning at Stankonia. Let's give him a round of applause for Stankonia. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I said, man. Cincinnati is so talented, and unfortunately, the talent is the small part of the puzzle. The biggest piece of the puzzle was mastering this business down, especially in this new age internet. And when we first when we was coming along, when the internet first came along, AOL chat rooms and dial up and all of that, and like you said, MySpace, and you see this stuff progressing. Right before I came on air, Instagram hit me up, and I just filled out my stuff to get paid for my reels. Let's give my producer and Andrew Walker a round of applause, because he kept telling us, man, get on the reels. Get on the reels. That's why I love these guys, man, these young guys, because they keep me grounded. And his uncle's name was Mike.
Right. Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah,
No
his
doubt.
nephew. That's who's doing all of this, man. The GKFM and the Unanimous Network. And like I said, man, you know that we've been doing this for a long time. Like I said, Grizz, Beat House, and so forth, and doing that podcast over there with him for so long. And I must say I learned a lot from my brother Bruno, man. It's like we said, we got an album called The Man with Two Brains, and that's dope. And we always think like that. And but he gave me game over there at Uptown Radio. Production showed me everything, and I understood where he was coming from about wearing the hats and everything. But when I got over here, and it's another person involved, they take a hiatus right now, but the teamwork is just all together, you know.
Good chemistry. That's
Yeah,
what you need.
that's good. That's the key word for it, chemistry, because I can sit here like right now, I want to talk about it. Like I can have anybody else on here co-hosting and doing whatever, and it's all good and dandy, but I'm at the point where, you know, I've been putting in work for so long, and now this stuff is starting to come to fruition. I can't stop right now. That I have to have the same people with the same passion and the same desire to be on the page with me. You know what I'm saying? It's with us, because right now it's not no time for lacking. So the business part got to be upped, and I got some things to do in the next 2 weeks that I got to take care of. Like boom. Because I see the levels coming, and I don't want to get caught sleeping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I see it coming, man. It'll be the one vision where you say you finally see it after all this time, man, of doing this stuff, and you sitting here like, damn, I didn't record label. My son's doing this thing, blah, 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 blah. I'm still going. People ask you all the time, why are you still doing what you're doing? Well, first of all, I got a passion for myself. I'm passionate for what I do. So that's what it is. And I think that my question with you was, you're not necessarily concerned about making it because it's a passion for what you're doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. And some people don't understand that.
Your blood, it's in your blood. You can't do nothing about that.
You can't do nothing about that. So y'all done how did I'm gonna just jump around here. AfroMan. That's a wild looking nigga, man. What? That guy is funny, man. I said, hey, man, where did Todd find this? I hadn't heard of AfroMan till you brought him along. And I was like, what the? I hadn't heard no songs, no nothing. And then I realized, oh, he got a cult following. This smoked a lot of trees. Where did you hook up with him at?
Actually, you know, that's J Buck brought him into the fold because he ended up being a customer at Big Papa's. So, you know, they got cool because of that. And then, you know,
is he still over there with Big Papa's?
Oh yeah, he's still there.
So he ain't going nowhere with that.
He owns King Liquidations too up there by Target World too. Go check him out for all your liquidated home goods. He's got a badass warehouse full of a whole bunch of nice stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go check him out. Where is it at now?
It's in the same parking lot as Target World, right off Kemper.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I go up there from time to time with my brother-in-law and Jesse O and do a little bang bang. You know what I'm saying?
I think they open like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something like that. So check them out on the weekend. Okay.
So that was a connect, huh, with Buck, AfroMan. So y'all still in contact with each other like that?
Skills is on tour with Fro right now, and you know, Emaq is basically Fro's engineer. You know what I mean? So we doing business with him.
Hey, let's give that a round of applause. And people don't understand that. Because I saw a couple early part of the summer with Skills with AfroMan. So we also need to give y'all a round of applause too for engineering, because Emaq is known for his engineering,
but it's so underrated.
And it's still underrated.
Man.
And you could sit here and say BTS was professional when you walked into the building to the time you left. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that, man. So what was the final thing to say, hey, I'm closing the doors. No more.
Well, a lot of it had to do with, we saw business slow up a little bit. I mean, I know being north of 275 isn't the greatest location if you want to be in the heart where all the rappers are in this city. But between that slowing down and, Emac had held it down being the only one running the studio for like 7 years. And he was getting burned out, and I can completely identify with that. And there were some other things he wanted to get into. He wanted to focus more on, mixing and rather than, sound engineering and, tracking and stuff like that. He was tired of dealing with artists that didn't do anything with their songs, and I feel that completely. So, we already got bigger and better things lined up, and it was one of those things, man. I'm okay with closing the chapter on that. It was a good run, and I'm proud of it. So
the studio part is closed down, the recording sessions, right. But Skills is still, the label's still running.
I mean, yeah, the label can always exist on paper, and me and Emac will always be BTS Productions as a production team. So, I can't leave it alone completely. There's always going to be something going on. We got a few projects we're working on. So, couple big things that I'm hoping I can announce in the next few months. But
okay,
I could tell you off air, but I ain't about to announce it.
Okay. We'll chit chat. I got to come check you out the new crib anyway. I done heard you to move on up like the Jeffersons.
Nah, not really, man. I just had to go a little bit further north, man. That's all.
Further north, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm in Hamilton.
Oh, you in Hamilton?
Yeah, man.
Oh, Lord, Todd, Lord.
Hey, it's quiet out here, boy.
It's quiet out there?
It's quiet.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. You've been a private person anyway. But, yeah, man, as far as the studio being closed, Emac doing his thing, you got big projects coming up. Is there anybody in the city that's on your radar that you rooting for?
As far as, new and upcomers, I can't really say I'm tuned in like that. I'd be asking Drizzle. I'd be asking Drizzle what's going on.
Oh, well, he gonna know. Drizzle's gonna know.
Yeah, exactly.
And he gonna,
I just get my critical information from him. But there's an artist that has been, in and out of working with me since he was like 12 years old. He goes by Trey G. I know his dad. His dad started the Lowrider Car Club I'm in. And, as long as he's doing music, I'm always there for him. He was here today, picked up some beats from Emac, got some projects in the works with him. My other passion being lowriding. So,
right.
I've combined these passions before. I've got 4 projects that we put together that's basically all West Coast style lowrider music, and we got another one of those projects on the way. I'm building a car right now, and I plan on dropping the album when I pull the car out. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot.
I'll be on it. You know what I'm saying? AfroMan got his 5 lowriders. We're going to have a video shoot with all that involved. So.
Oh, yeah, I got to be involved in that. I got to be involved in that. You know what I'm saying? So, right quick, as far as the music, as far as the tone of music, what is your take on where music is and where it's going here and on a national level, as far as the youngins and so forth?
Well, it's one of those things. We couldn't figure out why our parents didn't like rap, and now I'm guilty. There's some of the new stuff I don't really care for. You know what I mean? But if you look, there's still young guys coming up that's dope as shit, and I love. For one, you have the JID who signed to J. Cole.
Mm-mm.
He's a real rapper. That boy, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It is what it is, man. I'm still. I enjoy seeing the new generation come up and doing their thing. I don't have to like it, but I like that they're expressing themselves. I don't really get into all the drill music and all that. That stuff's crazy to me, all that drama they got going on in that drill scene. But it is what it is, man. I enjoy it all. I just like to see the growth.
So you think rap is going to be around? These young boys are getting popped off like 40 going north. On the internet, it's more about fighting and getting killed than it is about music. And
you can't say that to everybody. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely a good percentage and portion that is surrounded by that. But there's also real live artists out there that is, really doing it because they have a passion for music, not because they want to be gang affiliated or have beef or, you know what I'm saying, do drills or whatever, you know what I mean? So it all, you just got to look for it, unfortunately. To me, it's unfortunate that the radio and media and all that, all they do is show, the stuff for attention, basically. They don't necessarily say, hey, look, this guy is really talented. It's more like, look at all the uproar this guy caused. And you don't have to be talented to do that.
There's a lot of lack of talent in the industry today. Like, for real, like, man, I can't believe they let you get on put this out as a freaking song. But the overall tone, what about the music here, the music scene here? Do you think we have a sound yet, or are we still all over the place?
Well,
as far as music?
I think as time has gone on, like, I had this conversation with somebody before, like, you can play just about any artist at this point and be like, where is he from? Now, in our generation, we heard the beat come on or heard a voice and we're like, oh man, that's some Southern rap or that's some West Coast shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's so, everything's blending together to the point where it all sounds similar. With the auto-tune, it's all melodic. And that's the stuff that's on the radio. Not saying there's not other stuff out there, but the stuff they push, it's all mushed together where you can't tell what part of the country it's from.
Right. And even here locally, we still, like you said, we still don't have a sound, man. I've yet to see anyone embrace funk, man. And I know a couple artists have included funk, but to make an imprint to say, hey, that's a Cincinnati sound. That's a Midwest sound. We don't have that. We have a lot of people here trying to do, like you said, drill music, or trying to sound like somebody else. I'm so good.
That's what's popping.
That's what's popping. That's what's in the pocket, right? Everybody wants to try and get into the pocket. You know how I be tripping off of the Lil Wayne. At first, I didn't catch it and think about it, but man, Lil Wayne birthed all these little guys, man.
Yeah. For sure.
I'm sitting there like, man, all these new rappers, everybody got the dreads, everybody. I said, man, they all Lil Wayne. They're Lil Wayners. Lil Wayners. Let's give you a round of applause for my joke, man.
Oh, my God.
Thank you. That was good. That was a good one. Thank you. So I think that's a problem here, too, man. And I think there's still no unity, man. You've got people and like I said, that don't want to reach back and help folks, that have a stuck-up attitude, that thinks that these people owe them something, and maybe they do. And did you make it down to the music walk of fame, Black music fame? Down
no,
there?
I didn't. I seen the pictures though, man. It looked like a dope ass event.
It did look like it was a dope ass event. I wanted to go. I was going to go, but like a rapper, I felt some type of way, man. I really did, and I should have went down there and still reported on it.
Please help me with this schmuck.
Whatever, nigga. That's where I felt. Damn it, shit.
Y'all know Grizz on his bullshit.
I am. Cause I sure felt some type of way, like. And I shouldn't have felt like that. After I didn't go, I was like, man, I should have had my ass down there representing, because that was a very monumental time in our history and marks a place in history for people here to strive to say, hey, I don't need to go to Hollywood. I'm just trying to make it to the Walk of Fame here in Cincinnati. Well, that's real big.
It's funny you say that, because one of the conversations that I can have with you offline, it will probably fulfill all these needs you talking about and fulfill that void.
Oh, what you got coming up here?
Well, it's still in the early stages.
Yeah, we won't talk about it. We'll talk about off air, you know what I'm talking about, but let's give that a round of applause and let's bring that into fruition, because we definitely need the limelight. We definitely need the voids filled. We definitely need a co-signer. So if you got a co-signer and you want to shoot him to me, you know what I'm talking about? You want to shoot AfroMan over here to get an interview. You know what I'm talking about? I'm calling him a strings, and let me call him a Todd car. BTS, hey, send.
Hey, man, I'll see what I
Here
can
he
do,
go,
man.
here he go.
Man, he always fooling with me. But that's what's up, man, because definitely we need a spark, man. We definitely need a spark.
So this idea was something that me and Emac came up with after going to see my dad get inducted into the Cincinnati Jazz Hall of Fame.
Yeah, let's give him a round of applause for that.
Experience sparked what I'm talking about.
Yes. See, it might be your old man. It might be your old man to get a crack-a-lagging, huh? His energy. You know what I'm saying? It might be the energy that needs to get it crack-a-lagging.
He's full of it, that's for sure. He's full of that damn energy.
Yeah, I can imagine Latin band, Caribbean band, and doing the jazz. He eat, sleep, and breathe music. Yeah. That's all he think about, ain't it?
So when my dad was 17, he was playing at a bar in Evanston, and James Brown came in and asked them if they knew how to play Cold Sweat. And they played Cold Sweat, and James Brown sang the song.
Hey, that's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up, man. See, that's the history and foundations that these youth don't gravitate to or even want to take the time to understand what that type of energy brings. I want to give a shout out to Evan Johnson in his studio over there, because he's embodying that energy. Let's give him a round of applause for Timeless Recording Studio, Evan, because he's embodying that that energy, man. We need to bottle that energy up and use it. So I'm glad you out here still doing your thing and got things in the background, so it's not over with BTS. I'm going to just call it a revamping, and they got something else on the horizon.
Man, this is a different chapter, man. You know,
different chapter. That's exactly what it is and what we got to go through, man, to get where we going, man. So I appreciate you on the show, man. I got about 5-10 minutes left, man. If you don't mind, let's jump right into some worldly things, if you don't mind. Get your opinion on some of this crap that's jumping off. What you think about Charleston White?
Boy, he's entertaining, I'll tell you what.
Entertaining, ain't he?
Man, you know, I know what he's trying to do, but, you know, at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I don't care for an attention seeker, and that's just what he is, you know?
I think he figured out that what he was saying at first, what he's saying is really the truth on all aspects of the game, for real.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He ain't lying.
He ain't lying.
His approach is so obnoxious that you have to pay attention to him, which in a way is a smart thing, but, you know, it gets old for me. But there's people that eat it up, obviously. Look at the numbers on his videos.
Right. So which brings me to this. He's really not doing it to make change. He's doing it because it's the truth, and people hate the truth. We hate the truth that's in our face. So that's why there's been no changing and no so forth going forward about trying to make these changes in the community. And he knows this. So that's why he's doing what he's doing. So I agree with what he's saying. I just don't his delivery and anything to back it up as far as programs, because he always get on to talk about, I done this for the kids, I done that for the kids, this, that, and the third. Well, why ain't you highlighting that shit instead of sitting here agitating people?
Well, and the thing is, it's like he want to talk about being an example. Like, there's plenty of videos where he is not being a good example for those kids he's trying to mentor. Like, you seen that video when he had the big ass gun and his shirt off, talking all this shit.
Yeah.
Step up to my yard and all that. Like, how are you gonna go tell an 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old kid now to do X, Y, and Z when you just acted a fool in front of 3 million people?
Right.
Like, I don't think it's been all the way thought through, man.
No, I think it has. It's to further his pockets. But then you take it up a notch, and then you take it up to the billionaire club, and then you got your boy Kanye, the musical genius. People say he a genius, or he calls himself a genius, and then people went along with the the term genius. When I see the
okay,
term genius, I don't think of Kanye as a genius.
No, so I feel like there are much more talented and creative people production-wise in hip-hop, in my opinion, but they don't act out like him. So it's like he leans on, oh, I'm a genius so I can act out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't feel like he's I agree with you. He's not a genius in my book, and I just think he claims to be a genius just because he wants to act out, or he acts out, and so to save himself, he says, "But I'm a genius, so that's why I act this way."
Right.
I don't know, man. It's just weird to me. After late registration, I was cool on him, except for a song here and there.
Yeah, I was cool on Kanye too. Like, dude, you is not no genius. I can call myself a genius. I love these goddamn computers. Can do anything with them. I don't consider myself a genius, but maybe I should need to call myself a genius. Maybe I'm Todd.
There you go, marketing right there.
Maybe I am a genius already. I already talk a lot of crap to people.
Y'all know Grizz on his bullshit.
But I be on
Grizz genius.
I'm a genius. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back. Normally my co-host would be here to bring it back, but neither one of these girls is here. I don't know what they doing, man. But anyway, I don't know. They gonna miss out on the prize.
Where Remo at? Where Remo at?
Man, I seen him the other day. As a matter of fact, he took a hiatus, man, to handle his business. I think he got his daughter Charisma, so he being a full-time dad right now and doing his things. As a matter of fact, I seen him getting off of work. He was close to my job, so he's being a super dad right now. So he's
good, man. I used to play football with him back when he was like 13, 14 years old, man, back in the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So he was wanting to get on here and call in, but it's funny when you hear folks growing up and doing daddy duties. Man, I got to take her to practice, and I got to go do this, Grizz. And hey, man, that is the most beautiful thing in the world. It's your daughter. Go handle your business, brother. We ain't going nowhere. You can always pick up a phone and call in and talk shit. You know what I'm saying?
My youngest is 21. I'm glad to be done with that shit.
Boy. But I got my grandson, so I can get him when I want to get him. But yes.
Right. Sit home.
Yes. But most definitely. Well, man, I wanted to say I thank you very much for coming on to the show today, man. Like I said, I wanted to make sure you get a piece of this history so you could tell your kids, go look at this. And I could tell it'll be up forever and a day, so everybody can go if they want to visit and know anything about Cincinnati and the artists and the people doing things and stuff. They can always go to GRIZZBIZMY2SENSE podcast and they have something.
That's what's up. Leaving a legacy, man. I like it.
Yeah, I appreciate what you've done for the city, music-wise. I could commend your family, and as far as the musical history and things that they have accomplished and accolades and so forth, your brother, your mom, your pops. So I just want to say thank you, man. You know, you're one of the people that say thank you.
You, man.
You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, man, I'm going to get on up out of here, my daggone self. And don't forget the AfroMan. And don't forget to hit me about,
Hey, you hit me up when you're ready, man.
What else you got going on? You know what I'm talking about? But like we always say every Wednesday, don't be stuck on stupid and relaxed on dumb. I'll see y'all next week.
Hey, when it come to the hustle, you ain't seen nothing like it. I always knew this day would come, I ain't seen one psychic. Plus all my niggas play at once, I ain't got no sidekicks.